All right, what's up, boxing fans? It's Aztec 101 in the ring. Coming up, we're going to have Adrien Broner versus Omar Figueroa, and that's a really good fight. Adrien Broner's already talking shit. You know, Broner, before every fight, he's always very confident. He's always got a smile on his face. He's always talking the big talk. He's always putting up a front. You know, the man, you got to, you just got to see it from years ago to now. He hasn't really changed at all. He's still the same Adrien Broner. And the only difference is that now he's fighting guys his size. Right? But the one thing that you can't take away from him is Broner has heart. He has heart, and he's brave as fuck. He's either brave as fuck or dumb as fuck, or a combination of both. But whatever it is, you have to appreciate it, because the man keeps taking on these challenges that he doesn't have to take. Adrien Broner is actually a really good boxer. He can easily take on fights without boxers and do really well against counterpunchers, outboxers. These guys, he can actually outbox them. That's a style that he's comfortable with. But early on in his career, he found out that the come forward, high volume puncher, causes him problems, makes the fight complicated. And you know what? Instead of avoiding that style of fight, that's all he takes. Or at least that's what it looks like. It looks like he continuously takes on these challenges against high volume punchers. And it's all to our benefit, because he puts on a good show and he doesn't give up. He's always fighting. He might not be winning, but Jesus Christ, I mean, I think a lot of people are upset not because they believe that he didn't live up to his potential. I think people got upset because they overhyped him, and then they didn't live up to their expectations. And his potential and their expectations weren't realistic. They weren't parallel to each other. I think their expectations, or people's expectations for Broner, were way beyond what his skill level is realistically, right? He was fighting smaller guys, he was beating them up, he was doing what he wanted to do, and he wasn't making weight because he was too big for the fucking division. Then when he finally got up there to fight people his size, and Paulie Malignaggi was still smaller than him, even with Paulie Malignaggi he had problems. So finally you get to see exactly where he stands as a fighter when he starts fighting guys his size. But a lot of people were, I think they're still making excuses for him in the back end, saying, like, oh, well, he changed. He hasn't changed. He has the same fighting style. He does the same shit. The only difference is the size of his opponents. That's it. And the quality of opponents that he's fighting now. But hey, Adrien Broner, you can't take away from him the fact that the guy has heart, right? The guy has heart. He's not scared to take punishment. And we all know that Omar Figueroa likes to throw hands. That's what he does. He goes in there and he throws hands. He's not thinking about shit. He's not thinking about impressing the camera. He's not thinking about dancing or stepping backwards or doing anything. All he's thinking about is moving forward and landing punches, as many as he can. That's dangerous. I think Adrien Broner is in a fight with a bigger opponent, a much bigger opponent, a much slower opponent. Omar Figueroa, I don't think has, good hand speed. Like, for a guy who's slow, I think he's slow. Like, I think he's slower than a lot of other fighters in his division. I think, Collazo has better hand speed. Omar Figueroa is not the fastest fighter, but his timing is actually pretty solid. It makes up for it. But I think Adrien Broner will be the smaller, more agile fighter. and he's just gonna have to stay away from Omar Figueroa's body punches. Um, Figueroa's gonna break him down to the body. He's gonna break him down to the body. If Broner stays along the ropes, if Broner gets comfortable, if he plants his feet and stays in the center of the ring and doesn't pivot, doesn't move around him and try to find angles, and doesn't try to get away from punches, he needs to move his head. Broner needs to play more of a defensive fight in this fight. He can't go in there and try to let his hands go. If he does that, he's getting knocked the fuck out. It's not 130-pound division anymore. It's not that. So this is a dangerous fight for Broner. I'm actually hoping Broner wins this fight. I want to see him come back. There's other fights I would like to see him in. You know, I wouldn't mind a Broner versus Lucas Matisse fight. You know what I mean? Like these are fights I'm looking forward to. I know that Broner can lose again and still it wouldn't be a big deal. People would expect it, but I think I would like to see him win. I'd like to see him win against a good fighter. So I'm hoping he wins this fight. I like Omar Figueroa to a certain extent. I don't like his fighting style. I don't think he's really anything too special. I just think that he's got an engine in him that allows him to throw a shitload of punches and keep the pace up the whole 12 rounds. But he's also the type of guy that has had problems, you know, making weight, and you know, he's I don't know how disciplined he really is. So Broner can very well win this fight. He can make it look easy. But this is dangerous still. It's a dangerous fight. So good for Broner for taking on a challenge. Good luck to Omar Figueroa. What do you guys think? How do you see this fight turning out? What do you expect of Adrien Broner? And if he does win, who would you want to see him fight next? This is Aztec 101 in the ring, and I'm out.